Welcome back to Modern by Bravo. I'm your host, Amy, joined with my co-host, Jen.
How's it going?
Good. Just finishing up my lunch. How are you? How was Philly?
Good. Great. But tired.
When did you get back?
Yesterday. They planed us and deplaned us too. But I will say I was so impressed with, I got back on the flight and this like really nice older couple sitting next to me. I said to them, I was like, you know what? They deplaned us and not one outburst. I was like, this is good. This is great for humanity. We like this.
Why were you deplaned?
They had to change a tire.
Oh.
The flight like did it overnight before us. And so I guess like they were kind of checking it while we were loading and then realized it. And they were like, okay, we got to deplane.
What time did you get back? That's shocking. And
yeah, 2:30.
Oh, okay. Not like 2:30 in the morning.
No, not only did no outbursts, but it was like very calm. Like everyone was like, okay, I guess
so. Not like the expectation for Philly.
Yeah, I think it was like, I mean, I think maybe it's helpful that everything goes viral now. That like no one's gonna take the chance, you know. But also, like, in my head, I was like, what are we going to do? Like, what's an outburst going to do? Get you kicked off the next flight?
True.
You know, there's consequences to be paid for outbursts.
How was your time in Philly? What did you do? What did you eat more specifically?
I saw so many people, like, randomly. It
like
was
people we know?
So many people, not that, like, you and I know, but, like, so many people from college.
Oh.
Like just running into them. I saw one at a show. I saw one she has a store in Fishtown. I saw my old, did you ever watch High Maintenance on HBO?
No.
Where there's like, it's a really good show. It's like a real easy watch. Like we replay it all the time, but there's like the guy and he is like the drug dealer. And like, he just like, I always like, anyway, I saw him. I ran into someone from San Francisco in the Reading Terminal.
What?
I saw so many people and I realized, I was like, this is so weird. Like, why am I seeing so many people? But I noticed like most of the times I go, it's winter. So like maybe just like like no one's outside. And so everyone was outside. It felt like I was just in a temple reunion to some extent.
I want to know what you ate.
I did
like anything notable that like
we went to see my friend who does like Max, you know. We went to Liberty Kitchen and got
where
like
he works or where
he does the bread there. Okay. And we got that like very famous, it's like the kale Caesar chicken cutlet hoagie. And it's like, it got famous on TikTok. And so like when we ordered it, Max was like, literally no one orders anything else. It's just like constant of that.
It sounds so good though.
It was really good.
All that.
It was literally everywhere. Like apparently the lines on weekends there are just insane. Luckily, like we went on like a Wednesday, so like afternoon, and he knew we were coming.
Yeah. Okay.
What else? Oh, you know where I did get to go? That this actually was great. This was like my favorite night. So my cousin works at Alice, and that food is insane. I go every single time I'm home.
Where's Alice?
It's at 9th and Christian. It's right across from 12 Steps Down. It's so good. It's so consistent. It's just like really wonderful.
Wait, has that been there for years and years and years?
No, maybe like 2.5 years.
Okay.
But her boss was able to get us into that that like social club, what's it called? The Polizzi Social Club. And it's like it's like a membership only, or like, and you like knock on the door, and like actually that was the other one. My old roommate's the general manager and bartender there. So I was like, hello. It was like a weird vibe though. I was like, my other friend saw that I posted and was like, did you see him? And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he hates me, but that's fine. And I said it to my cousin and she was like, yeah, the vibes were weird. I said, real weird. And I mean, it's not like we left on great terms anyway. So
right.
track, but that was like 11 years ago.
We've moved on.
But it was great. So like we get there and like these guys see just Christina and I, and they're like total like South Philly guys, hot too.
Just my type.
They were very attractive. They see Christina and I, of course, like the old Chivalry, immediately jump out of their seat. And
Isn't
are like,
that wild? Like that is stuff that I do miss in New York.
Well, wait. So it's Kyle, Christina, and I. Christina's like, I don't want to sit. I don't want to sit. Kyle's looking at her is like, you sit. Like, you sit. I cannot take that seat. Like,
no, what's Kyle gonna do?
Like,
Kyle can't sit there.
Can't sit there after these guys just got up out of their seats. Like, no, bullet through the chest, baby. Like, no way. And she's not getting it. And he's like, I don't care what you do. Stand in front of the seat. I don't know. And he's looking at her like, do this for me. Like, do this for me. Sit in the fucking seat. And she's like, okay, I'll sit. And I'm like, oh my God, how are you not getting this? How are you not getting this?
These are like social cues that my husband doesn't get. Like my husband would have sat in the seat.
No, Kyle was like, I absolutely cannot.
He would have sat in the seat.
No, Kyle was like, no,
you can't.
I can't sit there. Like, absolutely not. He was like, I was like a ghost when you and Christina walked in. Like, you and like it was like
it weird for him, like to see that side of Philly.
No, he like loves it,
and
but,
also like he knows.
No, my brother's like that.
Yeah.
Like my brother's gonna be the guy on the bus telling everyone to get up for the pregnant woman or the old woman, or honestly, a woman, just in general. Yeah. He's holding the door for everyone. He's tackling people for laptops getting stolen. Like he's like that guy. So like,
but actually, I wrote a joke last week because I was walking up the steps. Because I also in the subway, like, I'm sorry, but like the subways in New York are insane, and in Philly, like the things you see people lugging around, like I'm the one helping people bring their coaches or their strollers up. But there was this little old lady, and there were a million men just flying by her. We're in Midtown. And I'm like, do you mind if I grab your thing? And it happened to me before once where I grabbed the old lady's thing and I ran to the bottom of the steps. And I think she thought I was stealing it. So then she ran. But this lady, I like walked alongside her while I held it and she thanked me, whatever. But I was writing a joke that people then helped me with the bag because they thought I was the old lady. Anywho, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, like that's insane that people like the men around did not stop to help. Like that. And my pop-up was so like that too. Like that's why Steven's like that. You know?
And 100% like that would never happen in New York. If two girls walked in, that a guy would get up from his seat to like, when I go to Philly, when I go to Jersey to see my parents and I'm at Wawa and like, there's no way that the door is not being held for you at Wawa.
The thing that's so interesting about it, there's this like weird, it's like nuance though, right? So it's like they're chivalrous and grab the seat for you. But then on the other side of that coin
they want to talk to you
well, no, it's that they're traditional and some of their values. Like I hold the door for you, but you cook me dinner.
Or I'm going to look at your ass.
Yeah, which that part's fine. That part's fine. I'm like, whatever. There's nothing to see, so.
I know. My dad, it's a struggle. We want the door held, but I'll tell you one thing. I don't want to cook dinner.
So it is, but it was a great trip. I can't believe how many people I saw.
That's great. I feel like I can't, I was thinking about it when you were there. I was like, I can't tell you the last time that's not true. I guess it was November. That I was in Philadelphia socially, but it's very infrequent. And I saw you were at Park, right? With your martini. Did I make that up?
No, I was.
Yeah. I've never eaten there in all of my life.
You know what? That was my first time there. And then I went again as my last meal. Kyle left the night before me because I went down to see my grandma. Yeah. But yeah, when I got home, I was like, all right, well, I have one more night. I'm just going to like take myself out to dinner. And I was there. There was this guy like that was like chatting. He was like nice enough, but he just kept asking me questions about this like startup that he's doing, like POS systems.
How do you go there and this happens to you?
I don't know, but he was like asking me about POS systems and like because
point of conversation for anybody who is not in the industry.
And I was giving him every answer he did not want to hear. And I was like, I feel like you're not into these answers. He was like, I mean, no, but it's great information to have because you've clearly been in the industry for so long.
But that's what you want to, that's what
Totally.
that's where he should do the research.
Yeah. And then he was like, do you have another drink in you? Like outside of here? I was like, no, I gotta go. Thanks anyway. I was like, hello,
Ew.
there's a ring on my finger. But it was a really
I am
good
a married
trip.
woman.
Yeah, it was a good trip. I'm just exhausted. I slept for 12 hours last night.
Oh, great.
Honestly, I forgot we had to do this until I woke up.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, last week I talked about, I think I was going to get this face thing done. Oh my God. What a nightmare. What? Do not do it. I don't care.
God,
I don't. It's called Softwave, and it's a laser therapy. I had to talk about it because you know me. You know the things that I've done for beauty. You know the things that I've done for pain. This was the worst pain I have ever experienced. There were tears coming out of my eyes simply because I didn't know, like, I was clenching so hard. It felt like, and she says to me, oh, it's going to be spicy. And I was like, okay, like, yeah, I've had spicy on your face. Like any laser facial you get, you're expecting it to be spicy, whatever, spicy. This was as if every 3 seconds somebody was lighting a match to your face for an hour. It went on for an hour. And they say it takes a month to see results. First of all, like, I don't see any difference. It's supposed to like tighten your skin and do something to your neck. I see no results. Doesn't matter. And I thought she thought I was being dramatic, which then makes you like more self-conscious about like what you're doing. Anywho, my word of advice is don't do it. I don't think it's worth it. I think there's other laser facials out there that will give you the same effect.
I also wonder, like, at what point are some of these just like total shams? Like, I feel like they're coming out with new things all of the time. And it's like, at some point, all of these like treatments are going to start like contradicting each other.
Right.
Where then you're just at like baseline again. You're just like, nothing is even happening. But like, boy, they got us by the balls and they making us spend all of this money. And I'm like, I don't even know. I feel like less is more when it comes to facial stuff, truly. And you know what? We see it on people. Like, we see once the work goes too far and then you start looking so unnatural. Yes, the skin is toned, but it's like, oh, now you look like every single other person on the street who has had that treatment. Like, all the faces start to blend together.
Well, I feel like, speaking of Real Moms of TikTok, but I would say that, so I started following this chick. She's a podcaster. Jordan Woodruff. She used to be on a podcast on Barstool. And she talked about 2 specific lasers to get. And one of those is microneedling. And that's what I'm going to do next.
That's the one I hear the most, like the best about.
And that's what I've seen. I feel like this was a sham one and I got scammed.
Yeah, you got.
And it was so much money and hurt so bad. Unless like my face miraculously looks like I have a facelift in the next month, I'm not going to say that I think it's worth it. The other thing I wanted to ask you like pickles, right?
Love. Well, I'm picky about them, but yeah.
Okay.
Picky about my pickles.
Did you ever have Grillo's pickle salsa?
Not the salsa, no.
Jen, it is all of the pickles chopped up like a pico de gallo.
Oh, I love that.
In a salsa thing.
Love.
And like little tiny pieces of pickle.
With like a potato chip.
That's exactly. I had it with a, what are they called? I like the potato chips that are kettle cooked. A kettle cooked.
Oh, I don't like kettle cooked,
crunchy,
but I trust you.
Yeah. Like the crunch and the crisp. And my mom said, what's the difference between this and relish? And I was like, good point. However, it's not sweet. It's salty like the pickle.
Yeah. Grillo's rules.
They have it. Is Grillo's an East Coast thing?
So I've always seen them out here. And then someone brought it up the other day and said that they're actually manufactured in Philly. And I was like, well, this makes so much sense.
I thought it was but I got it at Whole Foods. Just an FYI, you can get it at Whole Foods, and You need to get it. If anybody's out there, like, this is my one food tip for the week.
Okay. Great.
I have more, but
there is a lot happening online about like Bravo that I haven't been on my phone much, but like in the last like 2 days, I've just been like on our Instagram. There's like so much going on. Like there's this like
much.
Tinx Jesse thing. Apparently there was the tension on Watch What Happens Live when Tinx and Lexi were there, but then she said it's not. Andy Cohen asked her about it. Jesse's totally leaning into this fuckboy thing, which I find real obnoxious. Like, I don't want to know that you're this desperate for the attention.
It's definitely giving desperate.
I don't like
this
it.
This is gonna piss you off. I went on our comments on our TikTok after we posted that last video saying, like, hyping up Lexi about how like she's so good at articulating her feelings, and women are like talking shit. Like, are we watching the same show? Is this the same show? What are you talking about?
That just like, kind of gave me a visceral reaction. Like, it makes me mad. I don't know if it's like the strong coffee I just had, but like I am having a visceral reaction to that. That is infuriating.
But it's crazy because she's a 20-something-year-old and they're like, well, she's almost 30. And I'm like, well, okay, at 30, I haven't been therapized enough. At 30, I didn't know how to talk about my feelings that way. And I like, there's a lot of young women who could learn from how she's making someone be accountable. And what Jesse doesn't like about what's happening is that he's making her be accountable and he doesn't know how to react. So again, he's still trying to make her look like the crazy girl, and I will not fall for it.
Like watching this episode, the most recent episode of Summer House, might as well just get into it.
Yeah.
There was a scene when he goes, so she has this conversation with him, basically breaking it off. When the rest of the house rallies in the room and he says, like, yeah, she got mad that I was good with Ciara again. And I was like, whoa. Like, and I think what's happening when some of these women are siding with Jesse is that they don't have the capacity to read between the lines. And that to me is infuriating. It's like, use some of your experience and critical thinking to be like, okay, what is happening here? Take note that there are editors. It's like, also, I was kind of mad that none of the girls said, well, what have you said to her that makes her feel insecure with Ciara? Like, that would have been my first reaction. That would have been my first question. Like, well, what are you saying about us behind our back?
Right.
Like, I don't know what's happening. Like, there seems to be a real miss that's happening with these girls. And I also feel like on the one end, like, Bravo also is kind of like notorious for doing this, like, let's hype up the guys more than the girls. And I feel like maybe the edit is also giving some of these women, you know, letting them get wild in our comments, because I think that they see Jesse and West as this like duo that could possibly carry the show. And so they're favoring him in the edit. I'm not saying Lexi's getting a bad edit, but hearing her talk about some of the stuff, like, even like, not to call you out specifically, but like how you said something about the family dynamic, how you think it's weird. Okay, well, Lexi was on Not Skinny But Not Fat saying that whole thing is being so exaggerated. Like, Jesse keeps coming to his confessionals to talk about it, and that's why we're thinking about it. But it's like, she was saying that the night that they went out, or like, I think that like the night of the box or whatever.
Yeah.
That Jesse was the one being like, she already had like concert tickets earlier in the night with her family from like booked before. So they were hanging out that night, but then he wanted to come meet up. And so then he came up. It's like, you're putting yourself in these situations that she's just already hanging out with her family. It's not like you guys are hanging out and she's calling her sister and mom being like, come on by.
Right. But I think in terms of the editing part, I don't think she's getting a bad edit. I think these are, and we talked about this before, it's almost like as women, we've heard this story so many times, and as watchers, we've heard this story so many times that I think people think they can predict it. Like, oh, she's going to be the crazy girl, so I'm going to just immediately side with Jessie. Yeah. And I'm more disappointed in the women than I am the edit. That, like, how do you not see through this? Like, as any woman, you've been through a version of this. I can't believe that you couldn't. And if you like if you're an older person who's maybe in their 40s, that you can reflect on all the shit that like you did that was fucked up and crazy and how you acted crazy, or this person, like, I just think it's really admirable for the situation for her to come in. She didn't get close with the girls when she talks. She didn't get close with the girls because she said Jessie told her not to trust not to trust them. And right now, everything's Lexi said. Like, we've seen Jessie lie on camera multiple times this season. We haven't had those flashbacks of Lexi lying. So it's right now, I feel like Lexi, like, guilty until proven, or innocent until proven guilty, whereas Jessie's guilty until proven innocent. And every time we go to show him innocent, there's like a full montage of him lying about shit.
And I think the other thing is, people knew Jessie before this season, and so if you go into it thinking that Lexi's going to be the crazy one, you kind of just like lean into that, and you're not willing to listen to her on podcasts, for example, or read between the lines. Like, you're seeing what you want to see. Like, the version of the story that you want to believe is the version that you're watching.
And, you know, I saw the first.
I am disappointed in the girls, though. I really am.
Well, it's funny because I saw
Paige's whole thing is fuck the patriarchy. That is how she's making her money. Truly. And I love Paige. I am a Paige stan. But it's like, you can't preach that on tour, selling out 60 shows, and then be on a show not backing it up.
So I don't know if you saw the first 5 minutes of tonight's episode. So it's of the dinner again. And West is trying to say to Lexi, well, that's not exactly how it happened. And Gabby pipes up and is like, West, shut your mouth. Like, you're not involved. And Amanda and Ciara and Paige are sitting there saying, no, West, like, say what you want to say. Say what you want to say against Lexi. And it's like, I've been wanting to root for them, the Paige and Ciara of it all, that, like, I get it. These are your guys. You've known them for a year.
1 year. 1 year, by the way.
But
1
you've
year.
also had many experiences with men. You know how they work. Like, Ciara, you've had an experience with West. And wouldn't it have been nice for somebody to do like what Paige did for you last summer, to do the same for Lexi as the new girl who's coming in, the youngest person in the house? And Gabby goes to bat for her. And it makes me like want to applaud Gabby, because Gabby's like, you two need to shut up.
Yeah. And like, let's think about how Ciara came into the house, like how she came in with a guy who was fucking around on two of the girls, and the girls rallied around her.
Yeah.
Like, why can she not give that same grace? I wanted to ask you, was there, you know, I don't really look at the comments, but I had said some shit like that. Like, Ciara's getting under my skin.
Oh, there was a lot of people agreeing.
Agreeing.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I know that we had like have a little group chat with our friend, and he was siding with me as well. And I was just like, I'm curious where other people are at on this.
I'd say, yeah. And especially with her experience with Wes, to your point, like, I think a lot of people are like, you know, feeling a certain way about just, Yeah,
it's really disappointing to see. And you know what? Another thing, like going back to the comments from like women, if Paige and Ciara were more gracious towards Lexi and seeing that side, I think those comments would be yes, because people really, really look at Paige and Ciara as like, which way are 100%. You guys going? That's the way I'm gonna go, because they've such a fandom.
100%. And that's why it's cool to see what Gabby does. Like,
it's a
Gabby,
bummer.
And I think I like, Paige is old enough to know now.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I think her and Gabby are the same age to like know now. And meanwhile, Lindsay's just sitting there.
For Paige, to me, it feels
mean,
lazy.
Like getting to pick which side she.
Just like she's like, Ciara wants this side. This is the side I'm gonna ride with. Like, this is probably my last season. Like, it feels lazy to me. Like, she's not.
That's a shame.
It is a shame.
It's a shame. Like, as a woman who preaches this, if that's the only, like, it is sad not to see the women come behind, but they did it to Gabby last year too.
And you know what? I actually think if Hannah was in this house, Hannah would be 100%. Team Lexi. I think 100%. And then Paige would follow Hannah's lead on it. I really do. I don't think Hannah's like so funny or anything like that, but I do think she's a girl's girl, and I think that she would 100% have Lexi's back, and she would be the one to be like, well, hold on, guys, what is he saying? She would be asking the questions that we're thinking.
Yeah.
What season? What
are you're doing Summer House rewatch or no?
Oh, no, Southern Charm.
It's my friend who's doing
Summer House rewatch. I tried. It didn't pull me in that same way. I'm having a hard time. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I'm having a hard time with reality TV right now.
I would say the same. I think we're in the same boat. Well, okay. What changed it from like?
This is interesting. I can't. I'm so shocked that was your response.
Well, I think we both know why. Like, I feel like it feels more like when you do this and you're talking about it, you almost feel like you're forced to have to watch it. But rewatch, I'll tell you what got me hooked back in this weekend was the Mormon wives on TikTok. Like, well,
the Mormon wives, I will say, has like me by the balls right now. And I haven't finished the season, so I'm like,
oh my God. That and the fact that Love Island is coming back in like 2 weeks, I think I'll be able to like Bravo. I feel like with Bravo, it's almost like we know the story. We see the story, the same types of stories, the same types of editing happening over and over again. And then you throw in these Mormon TikTok wives and you're like, whoa. What the actual hell? This is like what is it? The Real House? What is it called? The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Yeah. Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Like this stuff seems unscriptable. Like you're immediately thrown in and it has you by the balls. And this season we get to learn a little more about their stories. So you're a little more tied in. And you know how we always say that like watching Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is like watching
a parody.
This feels like that, a parody of like a real life sorority show or something.
The thing too about when I think about the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, like Taylor specifically, I don't know that we've ever had anyone on any Bravo show across every single show that's been on Bravo who is so forthcoming and just is like so raw and unafraid to bear it all. Like she's not hiding anything from us. Not a thing. I think some of the other women probably are, but like
100%.
Taylor, it's like no wonder Taylor is front and center. Like she is so... Is it shameless? Like, I don't know what it is, but I don't think she's hiding a thing from us.
No, and the more she gives, the more money she makes. It's giving me Kristen Doty.
Oh, I could see that.
Like, to a point. How far along are you that we could talk about this? Like, how many episodes in are you?
5, I think, because I was gone all week. And so, my God. It was just, I tried to watch, I watched 3 on the plane yesterday and then came home, started another, I watched 4 and then fell asleep during 5. Okay. But I can talk about the dinner table with
which one? There's been so many dinner
her family. The advice that Taylor's family was giving her.
Oh my God, that's psychotic. With her dad saying that like she slept with him too soon. So, I mean, talk about old school mentality. What a crazy, that is like barely even the tip of the iceberg of what's about to come for the Mormon wives. They're in the rest of the season. I mean, first, Jen Affleck, my heart goes out to this girl. How far, like, is she still in the episode you're watching?
Oh, did she leave?
She just takes a pause.
Okay. No, she finds out she's pregnant. It's after like the episode, after that.
That was so sad.
The conversation about, that was sad because the only option for them is to have the baby.
And
The conversation though about the Ben Affleck of it all was fascinating to me.
So basically then Demi is trying to get everyone against Jen.
Okay.
But Jen to me is such a little innocent gal who's like trying to figure out her life. She's stumbling over what she's saying because she's got this marriage that's in shambles. Like Jen's going to get it together. Jen's going to be fine. Jen's a good person who's just going through a bad time. Demi, on the other hand, she is coming out of this as the villain of the season.
I saw that she posted something like with Whitney, and it was like, how you dance if you're a villain or something like that. I was
yeah.
Oh God.
The both of them, because Whitney's taking Demi's side, and Demi basically by the end of episode 10 says, do we really, like, it's either Taylor or me.
She can't go against Taylor is the reason this show is on Hulu.
Say it again. Say it again for the people in the back, because Demi's saying...
And quite literally, the back. That opening credit when Demi is behind Whitney even. Taylor is front and center.
And so there's this whole fight. I don't know how much. I'm going to give like...
Taylor got arrested on TV. Like, she's not going anywhere.
The things that she says too. Delusional. So what happens is basically Demi uninvites Taylor from her Christmas party. Taylor's like, okay, whatever. I thought we were on good terms. Demi's basically setting up like every dinner party and every event to be like, it's me or it's me or Taylor. It's me or Taylor. And she sits there at the table and says like, so what she did in the season 2 negotiation is she basically said they were saying that they were not going to give everybody the same amount. And Demi was like, well, that I was the front runner and like the fan favorite from season 1. So she was ready to throw Jesse under the bus and say like, I'll move on without Jesse. This all got out and everybody found out, like all of the Mormon wives found out and decided to stay together. And then Demi's like, oh yeah, sorry. It was just like about money. Ends up talking shit to Taylor about Jesse's hair business, which is like the whole second half that you have to watch.
I saw some of this online.
And then Jesse's like, why did you say basically Demi said you should never go and get your hair done at Jesse's hair place, which is scandalous because that is her livelihood.
That's so mean.
And it's her best friend.
Yeah. They're identical
so then,
too.
Oh my God, I couldn't tell them apart. So now everyone is going out there to try to figure out what happened at Vanderpump Villa. I mean, you cannot make this stuff up.
I know.
So there is like
and the way that they're bringing Vanderpump Villa into, like, it feels so meta. Like it's.
Oh my God. They bring Marciano in to have a conversation with Layla
on the show.
Yeah, Marciano's like, I did not do anything with Demi. I might have crossed the line with flirting, but you saw those rumors and Bravo and Cocktails about me making out with Jesse in LA a few months ago. They're true. I fucked her.
Well, and I know Jessie was on.
What?
Jessie was on a podcast, and she's talking about how her relationship with her husband is bad, and like who I think it's Nick Viles asked like he says something. He asked like a pretty harsh question.
God, his questions are so good.
I know. He says
he's like doing the Lord's work.
Give him an Emmy or whatever podcast get. He asked, is your husband, her daughter's father, someone that you would want your daughter dating? And she says, no. Like, what?
Do you know what else I found out?
That was dark.
When she has a baby with her current husband, but she got separated on September 3rd and started dating her now husband on September 13th. And then got pregnant right away. And there is questions about the paternity of that child because it was so close in proximity to her now husband, Jordy.
Can we also talk about how fertile these women are? Like, what is in the water over there? This is the most fertile group of women we've ever seen. We've been watching reality TV for so long with so many women, and we've never seen this much. This many babies in pregnancy.
No, and as a grown woman, do they know how it happens? Like, you just don't have to have sex for like 4 or 5 days a month. And you're in the clear. You don't have to be on any pill or contraception. Sorry to anybody who's going to come at me for that. But there's literally only like a 1-week window out of the month that you can get pregnant. Like,
it's like, I know they're young.
I'm like, we know how this works. Like the 16 to 18-year-olds, okay, fine. But there's a 1-week window.
I know.
1 week.
I know they're young and fertile, but it is just, even with that, when it's just like you think about your own friends in your life, and I know we're a little older, and it's like no one's just like getting pregnant. It's like
there's a whole plan.
There's a plan. There's trials and tribulations. There's tears. There's money being spent. Like it's not like they're just having sex and getting pregnant.
No, and like for us that don't want kids, we know when to not have sex to not get pregnant.
Yeah, it is wild. Even for the ones that on the show that want the babies, it's still crazy how quickly it happens.
And it's true. Like maybe it's
more than one person's pregnant. Like all seasons,
every season,
2 seasons, but still.
Yeah, it's the show worth watching. Did we get into enough about? Oh my God. I think we should go back to Summer House for a minute because
okay, let's circle back because I think I just want to highlight Ciara's hysterical comment about getting the ick. That was like the explanation heard around the world of like what getting the ick was. And Ciara looks right at Kyle because Kyle's like, what is the ick? Yeah.
And she says, do you know when you said you wanted to become a DJ? We all got the ick. And it's like, if you want to wrap the ick into one sentence, I'll use that from now on.
And then them discussing dating terms. I was straight up Googling. I was like, orbiting? What is orbiting? What is roaching? The only one I knew was actually Kyle and I looked it up, but I don't remember.
The orbiting one's interesting.
What was roaching? Roaching. I think roaching was like, hold on, I might be wrong, but I think it was like, I'm gonna look at your story. I'm gonna I'll heart a photo.
No, that's orbiting. You said.
Oh shit. I don't know.
Orbiting's interesting.
Zombieing, I knew. It's like when they come back from the dead. Like they ghost you, and then they're like, "Hey, how are you?" Like 4 months later, and you're like, "Huh, bitch, I thought you were dead."
Zombieing.
Oh
God, I've been zombied. I've zombied.
I just fuck. I want to know what the other one is though.
Roaching. That's funny.
Roaching dating term.
This is a good way for us to learn.
The act of hiding the fact that someone is in the dating world, roaching refers to the act of hiding the fact that someone is seeing multiple people while also presenting themselves as exclusive to one person. It's similar to how if you see one cockroach, you assume there are likely many more hiding. That's hella funny.
I would that.
If I was only talking to someone, I would never assume that we were excluded. Like I would just assume that they're doing the roaching or whatever.
They're roaching.
Oh my God.
100%. But Jesse, whatever. Jesse's going to be messy. I'm going to be interested to see if they show a montage of his lies, like at the reunion, because we need it. We need it back to back because him being so caught off guard that Lexi said that he was a liar. I'm like, you're what?
I was actually kind of also hoping, I was not hoping, I guess. I was curious how West maybe felt about some of the shit that has come out about Jesse feeling inspired, I'll put inspired in quotes, by the hate he received last year and how it helped his algorithm. Like if that was my friend, I'd kind of be like, bro, that's weird. That's weird. Like we can still be friends, but that's a weird thing.
Andy brought up that question on Watch What Happens Live.
Oh, I have it on right now, but I obviously stopped to do this.
And Jesse kind of played it off. No, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. I didn't mean it like that. Because he did according to Jesse, according to Lexi, he said some shady things about West to her.
And I believe her.
Me too. And West, I think, almost believes her too.
I think West does too.
Guys
but
are
I think
more
they'll get over it. Yeah, they're like, whatever, let's just move on.
Yeah.
But Yeah, actually, I saw West was on ESPN the other day.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I like looked at I like did a double take, and I was like, oh, he's on there I think he was talking about football or something.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Did you see
Okay.
those pictures of Travis Kelce that people are trying to body shame him in Miami?
People are. I cannot wait to be Kyle and I after. I think the June 1st, we're both deleting Instagram, and I'm beyond excited. Like, I
That's
need
nice.
I need a break. I need a
A
break
detox.
from seeing. I'm like, even just like with the like what my comment about reality TV, I'm feeling a little exhausted on all
Yeah.
celeb pop culture right now, and I don't
Yeah.
know, is that like an age? I don't know what's happening. I really don't know what's happening and why I'm like that right now, and I hope it comes back to me.
You know what you need to do? You need to watch a really, really, really good TV show.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm in the midst of I told you this before, Mad Men rewatch.
Yeah.
Also,
We
there's
finally
some
did watch Severance.
Oh, I haven't
So
watched
that's
that.
been so that's been good. I think it's like perfect timing too. It's summer, so I'll like be spending so much time outside.
Oh my god, I just keep
Below
thinking Love Island.
Love Island,
US,
Below
Love
Deck
Island.
will be good. Like Below Deck is my safe space. Like if I'm having
Yeah.
anxiety, I will put on just any season. I don't care.
That's
Just give
what
me an
I
episode of Below
want.
Deck.
That's what I want. Like when I'm feeling
Like
anxiety,
low
what can I
stakes.
watch?
Yeah.
And I've been using for my anxiety rewatch Girls, but this is probably like
Oh,
the 8th time I've rewatched Girls.
yeah.
Lena Dunham's coming out with a new show with an insane cast that I'm
Oh, fun.
excited to see that she's producing
We
the
just watched
cast.
4 seasons too on Netflix.
Oh yeah, I watched
That
that.
was
That was
good.
so easy.
It was easy. We finished it in one setting.
Yeah. The death
Should we
kind of throws you.
that's my biggest fear in life. So yeah. That was triggering. Kyle was like, "Are we allowed to keep watching?" I was like, "I don't know." I was like, "We don't have winter here." A car accident. That's my like. I
Oh my
wake up
God,
every day and I think car accident's gonna happen today, and everyone I love is gonna die. That's like the first thought when I have in the morning.
That is so weird. Mine is that I'll
Terrible.
die in a car accident.
I
Let me
would
not put
prefer
that.
me. This is dark.
Oh,
Let's
no.
get to the
Okay, yeah.
valley. Let's get to the valley. This took a weird spin. Okay, so I was frustrated watching this episode of The Valley. It's like from last, I guess we didn't really get to talk about the last episode because we recorded on a Tuesday last week. So let's just get into this dinner and this thing against Nia. I was not into this at all. It felt so desperate for a storyline grab, and she really wasn't like intentionally hiding things, and I was shocked to see Brittany kind of come at her and be like,
of all people,
and like,
Brittany, what have you been hiding?
But actually, almost to the opposite of what you're saying, like you and Jax, I'm sorry, are so happy to put it out there. Like you guys she created the show.
But she puts out what's comfortable for her the same way. Like Brittany hid Jax's coke addiction just as much as Jax hid it.
Was it hiding?
No, like none of all of us knew, but like it was like the big thing. Like she protected him the same way and just because she's finally putting it all out there now, she thinks everybody needs to do the same thing and follow suit. Like, get the hell out of here, Brittany. And then calls the whole thing. Jasmine, I don't know what why
she was clearly triggered by.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what, I don't want to. I don't know. I guess the way that he had acted that one night, but like he did apologize, and I'm not saying that makes it right, I guess, but it felt. To me, it felt like a reach. And you know what I really hate? And Janet did this, and I feel like does this. I hate when people disguise their concern as like, or disguise their gossip and their shit talking as concern.
100%.
I cannot with that. Like, just the way that we're concerned he's a drinking problem. It's like, this guy probably drinks only when he's filming this show. He's got 3 and I think maybe 4 kids now. Like, I don't know that he's out. His tolerance is probably really low. And then when he does go out, he's probably operating on maybe 5 hours of sleep a night, if that.
The only thing that I would say is like the Jasmine and Melissa thing. Like, is he the creepy boyfriend who gets a little touchy-feely when he's drunk? Because I think we all have one of those. I can think of 2 off the top of my head of like, and that's kind of creepy, but I also don't like, it's just so obvious, again, the formula of what they're doing. Like,
yeah, maybe that's why I was not enjoying it at all.
Like, we just, like, they're trying to call him out, and Nia's like, okay, so what? Okay, fine, he was drunk, big deal. It just, this storyline is,
even
and
when
they're gonna keep going.
Even when Melissa went over to, like Kristen and Luke's, I was really happy to see Kristen and Luke be like, okay, so we all get drunk. Like, if Danny's an alcoholic, what are the rest of we? Like, what are the rest of us? I don't know if he said that or if I saw that online, but it was such a good point.
And why does Janet's husband think that he is like the alcoholic drug counselor whisperer? Where does he come off like, you know what, I should go over there and talk to him? The same thing he did to Jax. Like, why is he the expert?
I don't know. I also think that Jason is believes too much. Like, the tone in which Janet retells the happenings of the group is
different than,
it's like, so, well, if he has a drinking like, it's so dramatic that then Jason feels, oh my God, this is dramatic, and responds that way. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. And oh my God, my eye just did the weirdest thing. Yes, and I think this is why I just feel like we're just watching the same shows with different people on them.
Mm-hmm.
To your point of like getting bored, it's like hitting me. Like, I think you're right. I think I'm just bored of Bravo shows because they're all the same. The same things are happening.
I know.
And this one is just a reach. Like, Jesse and Michelle's divorce also feels like one of those things that's like a little too dark to be watching.
Mm-hmm. I will say, when he said, what did he said? She has so much pent up anger and I don't know why. I was like,
oh my God.
Wait, what? Like, the way that you've taken like, the way that you've been able to convince yourself that you are not the problem is inspiring.
It's like a history lesson for all narcissists across the world to watch. That's another thing that the women on our commenting like, Michelle's the problem. I'm like, what show are you watching? Are you crazy?
Okay, so all these women are agreeing that when you just had a baby, and honestly, I've seen some, okay, I'm not a mother, but it's like, of course, when the mother has the baby, like, they take on majority of the role, and it's like, you want your husband, your partner to show up as well, and for him to be going out having these 8-hour dinners, unacceptable. You go to work and you get your ass home. If I don't have a social life, you don't have a social life.
100%. And again, for people who don't have children, and also the fact that he that comment about, I don't know why she's so mad. They put that in there so shady, because everyone's like, what the actual F are you talking about? What are you actually talking about? This is crazy.
She was just on a podcast talking about how, like, he had never really been into drugs or anything before they had Isabella. And both of them were like, kind of had the same stance. Like, sure, they drank, but never Coke or anything like that. It was like kind of anti-drug use. And then after they had Isabella, like, he started like partying and doing Coke and shit. And I was like, oh, I would be so angry. I would be so angry.
And the other thing that, like, we're talking about Danny being an alcoholic, cut to the scene of Jesse drinking 2 bottles of champagne by 1:00 in the afternoon, like,
calling the mother of his child a whore.
More than once. But Danny is the alcoholic.
Is the problem. Why is that happening? Why are they using, like, what? I don't understand. Like, did they piss them off at some point that now they're coming for them? Like, it feels like such a miss to me.
Yeah. Something must have happened.
Or
they needed a storyline for them, which, again, like, this is what I mean. Like, we don't believe it enough that we're like, what's going on behind the scenes to make this happen? Because they're not talking about it. They're not breaking that fourth wall.
You know what? the other thing that I had a thought, I wasn't that mad to see Sheena.
Oh my God. I thought that I could not stand her on my screen.
I was kind of shocked that I was like, wait, I'm not mad at her for being here.
Were you mad at her gold hoops and rhinestone sunglasses?
On the hike.
I also wanted to ask you about this hike. Is this a California hike? Because I could do that. That wouldn't hurt me so bad.
Yeah, but they had a client. Well, it depends on where they parked, but I think that's the one. Corey and I have done this hike a few times. And the one that Corey and I did, like, it's definitely an incline.
Because they're like not sweating. They're not.
They must have parked at the top and did the loop, which to me, that's not worth my time. Like, I'm not.
It's just a walk, right?
It's just a walk.
Right. Like, I'll walk around the corner.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, when I talk about the way that I like to do a hike, it's like, I want to make it count. Like, if I'm taking time out of my day, this is going to be my workout. It better be hard. It better be pretty much uphill the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not like going to just go stand out in exposed sun to walk a loop in dirt.
That's
essentially what they did.
See, and that's why this is good for me to know about these hikes.
Yeah.
Because I'm not really a hiker.
Look, there was one that Corey and I kept going to the top. And at one point I was like, damn dog, like we're like totally vertical right now.
Yeah.
And I love that though. I do. But I had to climb, like I like grabbed a rock. Like,
oh, dang.
It was like just this one section I remember that we did. Yeah. I was like, but it was a short
I guess
section.
My question is like what classifies a hike versus walking in a loop? So thank you for that clarity.
Yeah, I guess it depends on who you ask. I'm just honestly, I'm not lazy. So like this looked lazy to me.
It did. I'm like, I would be sweating. It looks sunny. I'm confused. Sheena apparently has been pissed per Bravo and Cocktails that she hasn't been getting more airtime this season.
Well, then now I'm annoyed again. Because it's like, you're not a cast member. I didn't see, like, you're not a cast member.
Yeah. And that's probably why I'm like, beat it. Beat it. So, I don't know.
Wait, there was something else I wanted to talk about, but I totally forgot. Yeah, I do forget.
Pickle salsa?
No. Oh, shit. I forgot. It's fine, though. I really cannot stand Janet, though. Like, I didn't totally get it before. I so get it now.
She just seems so thirsty.
And I think knowing that she was such a fan before is like playing into it quite a bit. Like, that's how they became friends. I think that is, I don't know. Did you watch Vanderpump Villas at all or no?
I couldn't stomach it last time.
Yeah, me either. And I was wondering, like, with the Mormon wives, like, have more people watched it because of that?
I thought
which I'm sure is true.
Oh, I also thought maybe because Stassi, more people would watch it. I wonder. I'm actually surprised.
I saw like one thing about her and Beau recently, and I was like, "This is why I can't stand you."
Oh.
I know. I don't know. I don't think I've never really like loved Stassi, but her getting mad about that tattoo, I don't know. She just does it. She rubs me the wrong way. I don't know what it is.
I mean, look, Stassi isn't your type of girl.
No.
I mean, she's not mine either, but I think she is like she was Vanderpump in the beginning. Like that show couldn't have gone on without her and Jax's craziness.
Yeah.
I want an actual real Vanderpump show back on, like real without the editing. I think that's why I usually like Summer House so much, because they have the not hitting cameras, but the surveillance camera just gives you a different. People forget that they're there.
I think that Summer House should have Lexi be the through line and do the show around her for next season. Yeah. She's young, she's hot, she's got hot friends. Like, I think that's the way to go.
What do you think the big announcement at the reunion is going to be?
Some people are saying Amanda's pregnant, but like to me, doesn't.
I hope it's not.
But also, like, is that a huge announcement? That they've been together for years, they've been married. Like, I don't know that is going to be like, oh my god. At first I was like, of course it's going to be Paige, she's leaving, but I don't think they're going to do that at the reunion. I think that's going to be a separate announcement. Yeah. So I don't know. What do you think?
I saw something that said it might be them announcing doing exactly what we talked about, was bringing some of the people back to the city and some of the people out there.
Yeah. I don't think Paige will be a part of it at all, though.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think she's gonna probably move on to stick with the Hannah of it all.
And I mean, go for her.
I think that makes sense. Yeah,
go do it.
It's a bummer for the rest of the cast though, because she's such a pool for the show.
But it's got such a good following now. And for a minute there, like, we weren't sure after the COVID seasons. It was kind of like, all right, we need to get new faces. But Jesse and West brought Summer House back. So I think it's got the right idea.
Yeah.
Anywho. All right. Well, we'll be back next week with an all new episode of Bonded by Bravo. If you don't already, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Bonded by Bravo Pod, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thanks, friends.